Hey guys, Funky Music, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Halion. This boss, really easy to do, honestly. The biggest issue here is tanks and healing them, using proper cooldowns, and that's pretty much it. There's really only two mechanics, depending on if you're up during phase one, as we call it, or down in the shadow realm, or if you're in the physical realm. There's only ever two mechanics each realm. So the first mechanic is the meteor. As you can see here, we're going to throw a video up here of the meteor. You're going to want to avoid this. Everyone runs through once you see this blinking circle on the ground. If you don't, you get hit with it, you'll die instantly. And then you'll want to avoid the flames that spread out. The flames can spread wonky, so you must pay attention for that. Always try to avoid that. The other thing you're looking for is consumption combustion. The only difference between the two is consumption will pull people in, combustion will send them flying halfway across the room. But what you want to do with this is you want to run to the wall and get dispelled as soon as possible with this. Okay, these are the only two things that you're ever going to have to worry about in phase one, or if you're out in the physical realm. Okay, so phase two, you have Twilight Cutters, which basically are a big two laser beams in the shape of an X that go through the raid. If you touch the laser beam, you instantly die. The other thing you have to worry about is consumption. Again, must be dispelled, must get to the edge. The reason why you want to get to the edge is when you dispel it, you don't want anyone near it. So let the raid stay closer to the boss, let you go off and dispel yourself, or have somebody dispel you if you cannot dispel yourself. So let's talk a little bit about being inside the Shadow Realm. I feel like this is the one that people have a bigger issue with, at least in this raid and in these clips. This was our major issue with the guild that I raid with here sometimes. And I want to kill every single person here, just so I remind you, it's literally two mechanics. It's not that hard. So the main thing you want to do when you get consumption, as you can see, I'm going to get it here in this clip that I'm about to play. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to run towards the tail of Halion. And the Twilight Cutters are not out currently. There'll be one that comes out during the Cutters, and there'll be one that comes out when the Cutters are not out. So if you just got done with a Cutter and you're the first one to get the debuff, you could pretty much place it anywhere as long as you're not in the front of Halion. Now, if you're in the front of Halion, Halion has a huge cone, just like every pretty much boss does, where they do some kind of cleave in the front. Shadow breath or cleave, or some kind of breath where they can kill you. This is true with Syndragosa, pretty much any boss, but dragons have a really, really wide frontal cone for whatever reason with their damage. So it's something that you do not want to do, is put the debuff anywhere near the head of Halion. Now, here, this clip I'm going to show you here, a shaman has the debuff. Now, as I said before, there's going to be a huge frontal cone on these dragons. You'll want to stay away from the face. Now, unfortunately, our shaman doesn't pay attention here, and instead of running towards the rear cutter and towards the tail of Halion, he runs towards the face. He gets dispelled, but it's too late because we are turning constantly. You're turning Halion so we can avoid the cutter, and he gets caught up in the cone and gets hit with, I believe, breath on this. He doesn't get hit with a melee. He gets hit with dark breath and ends up being killed pointlessly. You should always run to the tail, never run to the front. This is textbook stuff 101 that you need to be doing with Halion. I don't know why he did this. It's very hard to watch. Alright, so this next clip, we're going to show our mage. Our mage runs to the wall, thinks he's either dispelled himself or somebody has dispelled him, when the mages can dispel themselves, and he has not dispelled himself and runs back in and then dispels himself or gets dispelled. It would have been better had he just ran off and either killed himself rather than killing the whole raid, or tried to run back out and dispel himself once more. I don't know what people do when they do this. You have to make sure that you dispel yourself before you run back into the raid group. You run back in, you're going to pull everyone in, and you're going to wipe the whole raid. This is stupid and pointless and very dumb. You don't do this. If you still have the debuff, you haven't been dispelled, it's not your fault if you're a class that can't dispel yourself. If you are a class that can dispel yourself, then you need to do that. Yeah, another example of what not to do on Halion. Okay, guys, so in this clip, I know I talked about cutters being in the Shadow Realm here. The other thing you got to avoid for this realm, so if you've done any Halion, or if you already probably know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to worry myself with talking about cutters too much here, but I did want to show this clip. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to cutters. Now, this is why I have my camera at max zoom for this, so I can see the little purple balls on the outside when they go by. And you really need to be paying attention to where you are. Our shaman here, standing way too close, instantly gets cut down in no time. Alright guys, in this the clip I'm going to be showing here in a second, this is what happens when you dispel too early in the Shadow Realm. This is not that hard. Like I said, 2 mechanics. You just got to let the person get to the wall. The reason why you do this is you're about to see why the reason is, because if you're too close to your other raid members, you will pull them in and pretty much instantly kill them if you dispel too early. That's why they should run against the wall and dispel themselves there. Okay, another thing, I couldn't find a clip of one of our hunters doing this, so thank God our hunters did not do this. But disengage and intervene, even blink I guess you could put up there as well. But we did have an instance where I think the mage blinked to the outside and had to wait for blink to reset before he could come back in. Anyways, you guys got to be really careful with your intervenes and with your disengages of where you are. Know what you're doing here. Here you're going to watch our warrior. He's going to get consumption. He's going to run out, get dispelled, and then he intervenes the tank as cutters are coming out. Bad idea. You always want to intervene somebody that's in your raid group that's moving with the group. You don't want to intervene the fucking tank who's up there taking all the damage. And again, Halion has a cleave, a big wide frontal cone that with the breath, so you want to avoid that altogether. But anyways, guys, I hope this video is informative. These are some of the dumbest wipes I've seen over this. Some of the easy. This boss is really easy. Honestly, this boss comes down to, again, managing tank cooldowns and having decent healers in there. The rest of it should be a piece of cake. I mean, DPS, do what you always do when it comes to a dragon. Don't stand at the front. Don't stand at the back. Stand in the belly. DPS. You get a mark, run it out. Cutters come out, avoid it. If you're upstairs in physical realm, you get combustion, run out. You see a big circle on the ground blinking, hey, meteors coming, move with your group underneath the belly, continue DPS. When ads come out, pick them up, DPS them, nuke them. That's basically it. I mean, Halion's such a simple, easy boss. I don't understand why people have such a hard time on it. I understand Halion hits like a fucking truck. So like I said, I understand why it's such a hard fight when it comes to tanking and healing. However, why DPS die to dumb shit like this, I have no idea. This is simple stuff, easy stuff, simple mechanics. Compared to Lich King, this boss has half of what Lich King has, maybe even less as far as mechanics go, of what you need to be looking out for and what you need to be doing and avoiding, etc., etc. So this fight, in comparison to that, way much easier mechanically wise, yet people still manage to fuck it up. So, wanted to make this video specifically so I can link it to the people in this guild and explain to them what the fuck they are doing. Anyways, guys, hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you later.